on every man. Growth is needed. Say growth is needed. On every side. Now, I want you to also know that God is a God of increase. Say God is a God of increase. God is a God of increase. He is the one that increaseth man. And he's also the one that will bring him down if he wants to. And from where we read, he said, thou shalt increase my greatness and comfort me on every side. In other words, who is doing the increasing? God. That means he supports increase. Isn't it? It's as simple as it is. God supports increase. And then, not just increase, but increase on where? On every side. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Someone might say, on every side. On every side. Yes, on every side. Everything you can think about that relates or partakes to man, there must be an increase. It's a must. Because your Father has given you the ability to do what? To increase. Praise the Lord. All right, we're going to be diving into our praises and our topic this morning that says increase. Everybody say increase. Increase. Having made and established that God is God of increase, he wants you to increase in all ramification. And reading Psalm 71, verse 21, we have gotten the idea, or we have understood that God supports growth and increase. So this morning, he wants you to understand that he designed you for increase. He designed me for increase. He's the author and the finisher. And so only an author knows what he has put in what he has built. Yes or no? If you want to repair your car, one thing I like about UK is when you buy a car from a company, they give you a warranty, and that warranty is actually what? Warranty. They say it's 5 years. It means what? 5 years. It means anything that happens to it at that period of 5 years, take it to who? But whenever you take it to someone else that is not from the place you bought it or the company that manufactured it, what happens? It is because knowing and what? Void. In other words, he has made you, and he expects you that if you want to really increase, you should do what? Come to him. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. He has designed in such a way that no matter what you do, no matter the level at which you are, and you say you want to live from that level to the next level, it is possible. Tell yourself it is possible. It is possible. After all, he is the God of impossibilities. God of what? Impossibilities. So, Reverend Mr. Victoria will always make a statement. He said, God has the blueprint of every man. Hello? God has the blueprint of what? Whether you are his child, or you are an unbeliever, or as long as you're a human being on this planet Earth, he has your what? Huh? Can you build a house without a blueprint? It's not possible. If an engineer is told, okay, I want to build 5-story building, and you describe and wave your hand, demonstrate how you want to demonstrate, what would the engineer tell you? A good engineer, what will he tell you? Where is the plan? Where is the blueprint? Because all these things you are demonstrating like this, and if you like, show him a picture, he will still tell you where is the what? Plan, the blueprint. Praise the Lord. Now, for one to say there is fruitfulness or there is increase, in biology they will say fruitfulness or harvest. Whether in biology or agriculture, for you to say there is a fruitfulness or for you to say there is an increase, what must happen? Who can tell me? Sorry, my own message is always more like interaction message, so forgive me. What will happen? You have what? A seed. The basic thing or the basic need or the most important thing that you need for harvest first is what? If you don't have a seed, will you reap? You won't even plant, let alone talking about reaping. So if you are talking about increase, you must first talk about what? A seed. Somebody say a seed. A seed. Now you must understand that whatever God gives to you comes usually in a seed form. Everything God gives, or let me say almost everything God gives, comes in a what? In a seed form. Except in some cases, unusual cases, where he gives you manna. And manna meaning everything that is what? Finished. Probably because the situation at that time requires divine intervention. So he gives you what? Divine miracle immediately. In my place, we call it Ozubo Zubo working God. That is na. God of na. God of sharp. In those cases, he has given you what? A manna. And even if you want the manna, you will still need to process the manna to get the taste you want, isn't it? Hello? He told them, pick as much as you can only eat and process it. And some of them beat it into cake, some beat it into fruit, anything you want. But he gave them what? A sharp manner, because their situation was what? Urgent. But in most of it, I would dare to say, in most of 99% of your life, you have seed as God's answer. Hello? Now, we are going to be looking at biblical places where increase can happen. We said increase can happen at all sides. Now, when I ask at all sides, do you mean I can increase as in business, or I can increase in... I want to understand what it means increase in all sides. So we are going to be looking at biblical places that one can increase in the Bible. From the Bible of Luke chapter 17. If someone is there, please open it. Luke 17 verse 5. Biblical places where fruitfulness or increase is bound to happen or can happen.
And the apostle said unto the Lord,
increase our Who was speaking this? Who was saying this? The apostle. I was talking to my classes when I was telling them that if there is anywhere sin should not be mentioned, let alone sin, it should be among the 12 disciples of what? Of Jesus. But as we learned this morning, even one of them, but the treasurer committed what? Suicide. Now, that is by the way. Now, what are we saying? The apostle says, increase my what? My faith. Even them needed an increase in what? In faith. Because what they are seeing at that time was, I don't know how to explain it. When you're talking about persecution of Christians, I don't think if this generation has persecuted Christians as much as they persecuted the apostles. I don't know, I may be wrong. But they needed faith to do what? To stand. In other words, even as a Christian, where you are, believing in God, a born-again Christian, firebrand, you still need to increase in what? In faith. Undoubtedly, there will be situations where the level of faith you have now will not be able to do what? To carry you through. And then you need God to do what? To increase your faith. Praise the Lord. Tell your neighbor, say, God will increase your faith. Say it louder if you mean it. Again. All right, we are looking at Psalm 71 from verse 21. We've already read it as our opening verse. Said, God can increase your greatness. 71. He says, increase my greatness and comfort me on every side. In other words, your greatness can be what? Increased. A salesman made a statement. He said, if you are comfortable with the 1,000 naira in your bank account, you will relax. But that your 1,000 naira is like someone's, how will I put it? It's not even up to buy someone's recharge card for his phone or her phone. As you are there, enjoying your 1 million, saying I'm a millionaire based on your 1 million. Someone is giving 1 million as a token to an ambassador. He just visited, and then he carries 17 cows. How many of us watched or saw the birthday of a great man? What's his name? Obi Kubana. And the giant of Africa. What's his name? The one that produces everything. Dangote. Their birthday was such a way that if you are a millionaire, you weigh your millionaireness, if there's any word like that, from the doorpost. Hello? There's a place where you will gather. People will come there. People of your Tiliba and Candliba will come and sit. You will sit with them comfortably and you are chatting. But there's a place you will enter. Not minding that you have millions, 10 million in your account. You do what? You be saying, sir, you be the usher. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome. So why? These people are no more dealing in what? Millions. They have bypassed millions and are dealing in what? In billions. In other words, somebody said trillions. In other words, their level the level you are in, enjoying and thinking that you're comfortable in, someone else is using it as what? Footmat. The one drink he bought is times 2 of the money in your account. In other words, in the Christendom, greatness is required. Says greatness is required. Greatness is required. Somebody said, why will a pastor drive 3 jets? Why will a pastor have, why? And I told the person, the level that you are at now is the level of people that will surround you that you can command. Only those people under you are the people that you can command. Am I saying the truth? If I'm just, let me say, a local government chairman, I can only command people in my what? In my locality. Here. But if I become provincial, the governor, my authority what? Increases. And the influence also does what? Increases. So if I'm going to be dealing with only the fellow local government chairman, when I become a governor, who will I be dealing with? Governors.